Man, I'm starting to wonder if I'm ever going to be able to make this video, guys. Like, this is the fourth time. This time another driver came up to the window and had to stop. What's up, YouTube? It's Kenny again. Sitting here in Champaign, Illinois. I'm having to get a load reworked because the dumbasses loaded it wrong. So, it's put me all behind, all right? I'm sorry I haven't made a video in a day or two, but they had my schedule all messed up. They made me run till late, okay? Then I wake up like I normally do, 4 or 5 in the morning, all right? And they needed somebody to repower a load, which means somebody had a breakdown and they needed somebody to go pick up his load and complete it, all right? But they didn't let me know till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and the load had to deliver at 6 in the morning. So I ended up being up. I had to drive all night. I was up like 28 hours. So then yesterday, I woke up. I slept for about an hour. I got to my spot about 6 or 7 in the morning. I set a buy on Lordstown Motors and went to sleep. All right. The buy did not trigger. It did not go low enough. So kind of screwed me on that deal. We'll talk more about Lordstown Motors here in a moment. But basically, I just wanted to say, my schedule has been all messed up. All right. But here we go. All right, so let's talk about Lordstown Motors. Before we do, just want to say I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a truck driver driving across the country, researching and trading stocks, and I will not be held responsible for any moves you make in the stock market, not ever. I am not your mama, all right? Do your own research, make your own decisions, and take responsibility for those decisions. It ain't on me. I ain't your mama, all right? So Lordstown Motors. Obviously, most of you probably are aware that the CEO Burns and the CFO have been ousted. Okay, they're gone. Now, I think this is an extremely positive thing. I had known that this was a possibility, and I think it's a good thing. All right, George. Burns was the problem, running his mouth about the pre-orders, and he's the reason that Hindenburg had an opening to do all the shit they did that's pushed this stock down, right? Now, it has created an opportunity for us, but at the same time, Burns was the problem, and so I'm glad that he's gone. JP Morgan put out an article saying that they think this is a positive thing, and it's like the first step in turning around the image of the company and blah, 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 okay? But really, it was just the image, okay? It was just what Burns was doing is what has caused this, okay? Now look.
New message. Attention.
Of course. It's got to be something interrupting the video every time, guys.
An important message follows.
Subscribe.
Your pre-planned for order. 340072. Scheduled for pickup in Joliet, Illinois has been cancelled. Please
join
contact
the Patreon.
dispatch if you have any
in the
questions.
Description below.
New message. 061 Unpreplan notificati.
Okay. Sorry about that. Subscribe. Like the video. Join the Patreon. Leave me a comment. All right. So it basically was just Burns is what pushed this stock down. All right. So now they've installed an interim team from some firm that this is what they do. They come in situations like this and they turn around the image and they turn it around and stuff like that. Okay, so they've installed this interim team while they're seeking out a new CEO. So what do we get? We got some press releases. Okay, we got a news release saying that they're trying to seek funding to increase the production capacity. All right. We got a release from the president saying, and the language has changed now, okay? This is a different language than we've heard in the past. The president said that they have enough firm pre-orders, I think it was firm orders, to make it through 2022 on production, all right? To complete the little bit they're going to do this year and the whole year next year. They have enough orders, firm pre-orders. These are the deposit-based pre-orders to last them all the way through the end of next year, right? That's a big deal, okay? I've got a lot of people in the comments, the thing that they say is, why would somebody buy it? They're not going to buy it. They are going to buy it, all right? They're going to buy the truck. And we have not gotten any news saying that production is going to be pushed back or saying that they're any of that stuff. Okay. Now, the president also in this release said that one of the sources they're looking at trying to get funding from is GM. GM owns a big stake in Lordstown Motors. When they bought the plant from GM, part of that payment was in shares. Okay, so GM has a vested interest in Lordstown Motors succeeding. And like I've said, I can see them eventually buying Lordstown Motors if it ends up being a struggle. But the president has said that they're looking to GM for funding. Now, the ATVM loan from the Department of Energy is still on the table as well, as far as I know. If they get that ATVM loan, that's going to carry them a long way. Okay. Otherwise, they have multiple avenues to get funding, like I've said before. All right, GM, they're looking at GM. They're in talks with them. They still have this ATVM loan. They still could do a share offering. They still could get a loan on the plant. Okay. There was an article that I read talking about that they were going to do a share offering, but nothing else ever came out about that. So I guess, like I had said before, they're probably really trying not to do a share offering. So I'm still bullish on it. My thesis has not really changed, and in fact, now that they've gotten rid of Burns, I think that that's a positive thing, and I think it's going to help the image of the company and help the stock price do better. The company itself, I'm not really worried about. Okay, I think the company's going to do fine, at least within my time frame for the next year. And I'm not planning on being in it that long. So my thesis has not changed. I still think the stock's going over 20 before the end of the year at some point. I'm not saying it's going to continue to hold that or anything. I'm just saying at some point before the end of the year, this stock's going over 20. All right, so what did I do? I said that I sold. I got back in. I've started to get back in lower. Like I said, I've tried to make this video so many times, I'm not sure what I've said in this iteration of it. Okay, but I sold all my shares in the Roth and the cash account. The shares are still there in the M1 that were there. Okay, I sold at about 10.20, a little over 10.20 a share, and I started buying back in, and my cost basis right now is about 9.30. So I've gotten almost $1 below where I sold. And I've bought back 20 shares in the cash account and 100 shares in the Roth IRA. All right. Still trying to get up to that 300 shares. And I set a buy yesterday before I went to sleep, and it did not trigger. So that kind of worked against me, but I still plan on getting my full position back. Even if I buy where it's at right now, I'll still be well below where I sold at. And that is the plan. Whenever you make a move like this, where you sell and try to catch it lower, the idea is that if you sell because a dip's coming, and then you buy back lower, what you've basically done is, assuming that your thesis still plays out and the stock still goes to the level you expect it to, you've increased your profit margin by whatever amount it is between where you sold and where you bought back in. So right now, I'm almost $1 below, which means that increases that by another $100. $100 because I only bought back 100 shares so far, but I do plan on buying the other 200 shares. I'm just waiting for my spots, waiting for my opportunities. All right, I wish I wouldn't have had to sleep yesterday because I could have caught it, but it just is what it is. All right, so that's where I'm at. I still have the same thesis. I'm looking to get my other shares back. I may not buy so heavily in the cash account because that's more for longer term, but I plan to get my full 300 shares back in the Roth. I just got to get another 200. I have the money. I'm just looking for the right opportunity. All right. So everything else, OEG down a little bit, Hyliion down a little bit, Enphase has made some upward movement. We're just waiting on pops on stuff or at least on OEG to try to get out of that with a profit. Hyliion's a little bit of a longer outlook, and so is Enphase. And then Lordstown, production is still on track as far as we know. I still believe they're going to get funding. This new language about the orders is positive. Them getting rid of Burns is positive. I'm still bullish on it, guys. So that's where I'm at. Hit that subscribe button, like the video, Leave me a comment below. And thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate your support. Join the fucking Patreon, all right?